Thanks for subscribing and liking and thumbs upping. And don't forget, it's right down there. Just do it. Thumbs up. Go ahead. It's it's House Sparks Mega Worldwide. I'm going to peek at something real quick. And oh my God. Shit. Oh no. All right, let's see. There's so much. I don't even know if I have time for some of this stuff. This is crazy. All right, this one I'll add in, but we won't do it till the end if I have time for it. It's a short one from Salcedo. But I want to go to next up, Laura Ingraham. She's doing straight up Glenn Becky and stuff. The left has a new way to control you. I need like shock music of some sort. Pete's Highway to Hell. Oh, that's good. So they're spending the fiber dollars today. Honest to God, do you guys fucking do this on an app? Do you not have a graphics department? Did they all walk off the job because they had to be vaccinated? Holy shit. All right. Let's jump into this, and then we'll. I'm very excited as you know, as a lefty. I'm very excited that they're going to tell me how I'm supposed to control people. I didn't get the manual in the mail. Usually we get our our new little red book full of control secrets, and I'm very excited. Let's see. Yeah.
Now is Steve Malloy, former Trump EPA transition team member, founder of JunkScience.com.
The head founder of JunkScience.com, who Trump put in charge of the Environmental Protection Agency.
Steve, react to the angle, because look, they do wrap this up in this very laudable goal of.
The angle, the Ingraham angle is the name of her show, and then she opens the show with a monologue, which they weirdly did not include in this clip. So he's going to react to something that we have not seen. Now, I would go back and show it to you, but fuck them.
Reducing traffic fatalities, which I think everyone would like to see a reduction in traffic fatalities. But they use that statistic from 2021 comparing to 2020 when we had major lockdowns and shutdowns across the country. How valid is that?
Oh, you mean like year over year inflation? Oh my God, is she waking up to reality? And I think what they're talking about is the warning stuff in your car, like don't drive drunk or look in your backseat. I had a rental car recently when I was out doing stand-up, and I when I was in San Francisco, got a rental car, and it has a little warning thing on it that says check your backseat. In case you leave a kid in the car, check your backseat. There doesn't have to be weight on the seat for it to tell you that. I think nicer cars will probably have that, but this was, your run-of-the-mill. When it said check your backseat to make sure. It didn't say it when you get in the car, which would help you against, I guess, serial killers and innocent men on the run for a crime they didn't commit who sneak into your car and wait for you to drive them through the blockade, which is the only other 2 times I've seen that kind of thing. But the warning about look in your back seat is it's a little light on the dash. It beeps twice, and then it goes off. Translation: tyranny.
Well, Laura, you did a great job in the angle. You tied it all together beautifully.
How the fuck would we know that? Post it and then have them reference it. What's wrong with you?
They've hated the.
Oh, and by the way, Styrene Builds is asking, how do you forget a kid in the car? That's a good thing to ask. Because, and this rule is about this as well. People, and this is going to, this aches to say. Some people, crazy people, crappy people. Oh my gosh. Joyce, thank you so much. Here's for shipping to get the new left control manual. Thank you. Yes, it's very heavy. It's getting very big. And Sylvia, thank you for the super chat. Oh my gosh, Joyce. Thank you. That's very sweet. And CSL, thanks for pointing it out to me. A lot of the people, a decent number of them, who leave their kids in the car and that the kids die of, heat exhaustion, or they suffocate in the heat. It's just brutal. Occasionally, I would like to think it's most of the time, it's an accident. Some people do it on purpose. And they get away with murdering their kid by saying, I forgot. I was overworked. I was tired. I went into the house and I was just overwhelmed. And people have walked when the prosecutor was like, this motherfucker has tried to kill their kid or abuse their kid before, and now the kid is dead. So what's this light for? Is this light really because they expect most people to forget their kid in the car? No. It's in the car so that you can't claim you forgot. So that those people who do that can go to fucking jail. And the rest of us can just see a light blink on and off. That's what it's for. Most of these warning lights, like click it or ticket, or the, don't forget the beeping on flashing your seatbelt. That's because people are like, oh, I forgot. Okay, well, I can't. Everybody forgets. So it blinks. Can you turn your car on? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, your car tells you to turn on. You didn't fucking forget. You just didn't wear it. You're willfully not wearing it. Here's your ticket. That's why. But a lot of these warnings aren't actually about people forgetting, because most people it becomes automatic. The vast majority. It's about the people who willfully flaunt the law, claiming they forgot and getting away with it. Or throwing themselves on the mercy of the court and being pitied. Getting, reckless endangerment or shit like that instead of murder, which is what it was. Meanwhile, dashboard light tyranny, exactly. Play here. Whoops.
React to the angle, because look, they do wrap this up in this very laudable goal of reducing traffic fatalities, which I think everyone would like to see, a reduction in traffic fatalities. But they use that statistic from 2021 comparing to 2020, when we had major lockdowns and shutdowns across the country. How valid is that?
Well, Laura, you did a great job in the angle. You tied it all together beautifully. They've hated the car for a long time. I wrote about this 13 years ago in my book, Green Hell. They're trying to figure out.
They hate the car. They hate cars. They hate cars. That's why they're trying to extend battery technology, move people towards electric cars, where gas cars, if you run out of gas, you're fucked. Even if you're right next to an oil well, even if you have oil coming out of your property, you can't take that oil and turn it into gas yourself on a regular enough basis to save yourself. Whereas with an electric car, you could unfold a couple of solar panels and charge your car no matter where the fuck you are. You'd have more freedom than you would have in a combustion engine. That's right, more freedom. And because they want to push towards non-polluting methods of transportation, they don't hate cars. They think we should have more trains for people who commute, because they don't need to just drive the same 9 miles over and over again.
How to get us out of cars. They've tried climate. It's not working so well. People don't really want to buy EVs. I guess now they're going to.
The fuck they don't.
By traffic fatalities. It doesn't make any sense. You're right. Their use of statistics is dishonest. That's nothing new. People are going to be surprised when they start going back downtown to work. They're going to find that it's going to be a lot more inconvenient for cars, because while we've been away during the pandemic, local governments have been making it more difficult to drive your car, park your car. Speed limits have been.
Oh, sorry. Local governments have? The fuck does that have to do with the Biden administration or the federal government? Take it up with fucking Toledo.
Parking areas have been reduced. Gasoline prices are up. The government and the Biden administration especially is doing everything it can to make it more difficult to drive.
Yeah, that's why he ran as a car guy. That's why he literally did 3 of his first 5 presentations as president around car manufacturing in the United States.
They want to do that. They don't like cars. They don't like what cars enable, which is, as you mentioned, living in the suburbs.
But also, isn't this partly a control thing, as it was with COVID?
Yeah, totally. They want to put, you know, those like headlight bras you put on a car? They want to put a mask on your car so that they're going to make you change your filter.
When the border was open and, you know, millions of people were crossing the border without really being tested or any control. So that whole thing was a joke from the beginning.
Well, no, we expel people under Title 42 at an amazing clip. And a lot of them try to come back over. We just kick them right back out. And people who are moved on are all tested. Many of them are vaccinated, if not all.
But same with this, correct? I mean, you can't just jump in an electric vehicle, at least not right now, and travel, you know, 500 miles quickly or 1,000 miles.
Yeah, no. In most cars, you have to pull over and get some gas. And at the beginning of vehicles, you couldn't do that either. And as electric vehicles become more prevalent and people use them more often, they're extending their distance that they can travel to plus 360 miles is the high average now. They're going to hit 500 within a couple of years. Fucking hell.
Quickly.
Yeah, the internal combustion engine has given Americans more freedom, or given the whole world more freedom. You can fill up your car in 5 minutes and drive 400 miles in any direction. You can't do that with an EV.
Right, but you also are at the effect of oil prices all the fucking time as a consumer. Whereas if you have an electric car, you can choose where to stop and recharge, and at your home you can recharge at night when you're getting the lowest cost energy.
You know, the government in the infrastructure package, there's a provision in there. The government, they want the government to work on kill switches so they can turn your car off when they want. You're right. It's all about
when they want. When they want would be when you want, because you can turn it on and off with your app, and you can give them that power if it's stolen or if a child is behind the driver's seat. But yeah,
control,
please go on.
As is everything environmental. I've been working on environmental issues for 30 years. It's never been about...
Yeah, but you've been working on stopping environmental progress.
Environment. It's about controlling people, what they do.
Oh, well, here's Jen Psaki last week on the importance of quickly ditching the fossil fuel industry. Watch.
It's a huge advantage to us to be a leader in the clean energy transition. And over the course of years and decades, we've become a clean energy superpower because ultimately that's not just where the jobs are, it's where the strategic advantage will lie in 10, 20, 30 years.
So wait a second. So they think, the White House thinks that no one's going to be using oil in the next 10 years? Really? Well,
no. They think that having it for big industrial uses, airplanes, tanker ships, shit like that will still be necessary. But if we can convert all of our consumer and commuter cars away from it, we won't require as much, and therefore we'll be completely energy independent all the time. And with a smart grid, being able to share energy at a much lower cost across the entire country, EVs can power themselves fucking anywhere.
China is going to be using oil. We know that.
Well, yeah, China's going to be using oil and coal to...
Yeah, you know what they're also going to be using? Oncologists.
All the green tech crap that, you know, we're forced to buy here in America. We're not a clean energy superpower. China is. And, you know, we should be...
No, they're not. Wait, hold on. Citation needed. What the fuck? China is a clean energy superpower? Are you drunk? They're making a lot of EVs. They're making a shit ton of EVs. They're all powered by coal.
We should be the oil and gas and coal superpower. We have all the energy in the world, but Democrats don't want us to use it. They want us to become dependent on China. This whole green...
Why the fuck would we be dependent on China? What the fuck does this have to do with dependence on China? As a matter of fact, this is about complete independence. And don't think for a second this asshole doesn't know about the battery factories opening up in the United States, the lithium from the Salton Sea and from Wyoming and Montana that will give us enough, batteries for consumer devices and cars for the next fucking 60 years, even though we won't be using lithium for batteries in 10 years.
The more it passes, the more mandates we get for wind and solar and EVs. All it does is make us more dependent on communist China, who is our geopolitical enemy. All these materials, the vast majority of materials for green tech comes from China. And there's none of...
No, it doesn't. They make the cheap stuff. That's not the same thing. And you're still talking in 2018 terms. That's not even true now. Most of the solar panels we're going to start using in this country in the next 3 years are going to be made in Mexico, kids.
Bills or regulations that have been passed.
Thanks.
Even
Mariah.
bother to imagine that, well, we should, these materials really should come from America if we're going to be requiring them, not from communist China, because
Yeah. Which materials are you talking about, stupid?
Depending on China.
Well, they're absolutely fine with that. You're right. Now, I have to get to this, Steve. This was also in the New York Times today, wanting Americans to ditch beef for a certain insect. Watch.
Was it cricket protein?
Unless we make major adjustments to the food we eat and how we produce it, we're cooked. One of those dietary changes we need to consider might even make you a little squeamish.
And we're going to finish it off with some whole grasshoppers.
Yeah, we're talking about insects. Specifically, eating them.
Yeah, so fucking what? Of course it's a great food source. Especially when you're talking about powdered stuff. But I mean, you guys know, I've eaten bugs for quite a long time. Matter of fact, there was a restaurant at the Santa Monica airport where I was getting my pilot's license before the current unpleasantness. And they served 3 different bug dishes. Chiang Mai ants on a salad because they taste like vinegar. So they put oil on the salad and these ants and it tastes like oil and vinegar dressing and they're crunchy. And then fried crickets with string potatoes because it was all crunchy and salty. And most of the drive back and forth from LA to Vegas or a lot of places, and you'll find like mealworms that nacho cheese flavored mealworms in the little boxes. They're at the novelty phase. They're going to grow into a regular thing. And then there's like insect protein that you can buy. Like, who gives a shit? And again, the New York Times does an opinion video that they want to go viral. So it, of course, includes eating bugs because people will go, ew. And that's exactly what she saw and what he saw. And that means that the Biden administration is going to force you to never have a hot dog again at a game. And you're going to eat a bun full of crickets while you're singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Handing the election to the Republicans. I think we should just run that for the next 3 years and say, do you want bacon bits or do you want that on your salad?
Well, yeah, early
These are my choices.
this year, I think both the New York Times and Washington Post were advocating that people eat cicadas, and I think even on CNN, one of their anchors did eat. It was gross.
No,
they're crazy. You're right.
By the way, there's a high correlation between people who are easily creeped out, who have a heavy ick factor, and conservatism. Just for the record.
Steve, they would love nothing more than to have a kill switch in the vehicles, the trucks of the Freedom Convoy, right? They'd love to be able to turn them off and get them out of there. Or
asshole, the trucks are stopped. The problem isn't the trucks are moving. The problem is that the trucks are stopped. They'd have to put in a live switch.
direct them to another location. They would love that technology right now. Then they wouldn't have to deal with the pesky people. Steve, we love having you on. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
All right. Yeah, just again, conspiracy theory horse shit, masquerading as real news. And what did we see in this whole thing? That we're going to have to buy solar panels from China, that they're going to kill your car while you're driving it and make you eat bugs. And look how hot this dude's car is that he's plugging in. He's plugging in this Lotus. I think it's a Tesla with the Lotus body style. And that's just a point of control. And then she's like, and then Psaki wants us to be on the leading edge of new technology. Jeez. Oh, did I buffer? What's happening? Did I get buffered? We'll see. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, look at that. There we go. I'm back, I think. Should be all right. Let's see. Making sure everything's running fine. Got weird for a second. There was a ruffle. A thruffle. Who knows? We'll see. I'm cool now? Good. All right. Yeah, I saw the spinning wheel of death for a second, but it's back. Anyways, she just... Do you guys want America to be on the cutting edge of new technology or not? Because you sound like people who are like, this horseless carriage nonsense. Americans like the freedom to take their horse and ride off into the over the hills on their own. But roads are just a way of controlling people.